Another Bite, hosted by John Dick, Jory Monroe, and Ariel Boswell, is brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. Each week, they break down episodes of everyone's favorite business television show, Shark Tank, offering their own unique thoughts, spin-off companies, critiques, and even talk with some of the folks who pitched to the sharks and live to tell the tale. From squatty potties to mensch on a bench, and even that weird golf club you use as a toilet, Another Bite takes a fresh look at some of your favorite episodes, and even more importantly, answers what these entrepreneurs are up to now. It's an amazing show for getting a more in-depth look at how businesses are built. And no matter where you are in your journey of work or business ownership, you can be sure you'll walk away with a fresh perspective. So listen to Another Bite wherever you get your podcasts. This is Optimal Work Daily, episode 1132, Learning the Rules of Entrepreneurship, a primer, by Michael Levitt of breakfastleadership.com. And I'm Dan, I am your host here, and I'm with you every single day of the year reading these great blog posts on entrepreneurship. And I'm going to keep this intro short for you today, so let's get right to the post as we optimize your life. Learning the Rules of Entrepreneurship, a primer, by Michael Levitt of breakfastleadership.com. We tend to think of entrepreneurs as mavericks and innovators. Of course, they can be. In many cases, success depends on the ability to promote yourself and your ideas over anything else, because no one will give you the benefit of the doubt. You have to prove yourself to put plans into reality and have a team follow you. That said, it's wise to be careful and pay your dues. If you're to break all the rules and begin anew, you have to know what the rules are to begin with. For example, think of an innovative guitar player like Jimi Hendrix, who made the electric guitar his own and is widely considered to be one of the most innovative players ever. Hendrix didn't start by breaking the rules. He had to learn how to play guitar conventionally, abide by the rules, learn to read sheet music, and then develop his own unique style over time. As such, saying you're an entrepreneur is just that, a statement. It's not a tangible reality of any kind. In order to make your position in this field concrete and worthy of respect, it's essential to learn the rules of entrepreneurship. Only then can you break them and innovate with confidence. So in this post, we intend to give a primer on how entrepreneurs can properly structure their foray into the wider corporate climate. The value of personal branding. It's important to recognize that your personal brand really does matter. As an entrepreneur, you are your biggest asset. And just like a great business idea or the trust a client might place in a new enterprise, you need others to believe in you. For this reason, learning how to market yourself is effective. Using social media profiles, LinkedIn, a website, and a clear measure of explaining who you are and what your goals may be is important. But this is hardly the end of the story. You'll also find that how you put yourself together counts. Any healthy investments you can make in yourself will benefit you, from wearing a smart professional wardrobe to working on your posture and your ability to speak to public audiences. Your skills are tangible entrepreneurial assets and must be used as such. Networking prowess. You don't have to be the coolest social butterfly to make it as an entrepreneur, but you do need to know how to make and sustain connections. That might involve heading to business conventions, reaching out to those in your industry, keeping contact with old business connections, and keeping your word when you make promises. That latter piece of advice is essential because your reputation can sometimes do the work for you in terms of networking. You don't have to hang out in all the coolest bars visited by the top players of your industry, but you do need to be affable, responsive, respectful, and courageous. When people remember you for those necessities, you never know what benefits it may bring. A good example is that of Gordon Ramsay, who, after one of his friends was sacked by the same corporate entity that managed the restaurant he was head chef for, left to create his own restaurant brand. Most of the staff left with him. That shows the power of close networking and how people can support you if you inspire belief. Tangible legal and regulatory understanding. You don't have to be a solicitor or lawyer to win as an entrepreneur. In fact, most entrepreneurs aren't trained in this specialty. However, it's very helpful to have a distinct understanding of the laws and regulations that bind the sector you hope to work in. You can always use legal assistance, advisory books, and general educational courses to become much more aware of your responsibilities and parameters imposed on you in specific areas. This not only helps you avoid making mistakes, but it gives you a sense of authenticity and competence, which is absolutely required from the very first day of defining the value you hope to offer. So don't be afraid to study and study hard, even if you do that as you grow into your entrepreneurship role. Ideally, you'll already be operating in a field you have some experience with, such as a past career in a field you hope to launch your business in. Solve a problem. The status of entrepreneur is meaningless for the most part, in that someone can claim this title and never really do anything with it over time. It's the same way as saying you're a novelist because you might have plans to write a novel one day. This status doesn't really apply until you sit down and begin outlining your story. As such, try not to let the vague notion of what an entrepreneur is define how you proceed. Instead, seek to solve a problem that you feel is important to rectify. Perhaps you've noticed that in the age of smartphone apps and near limitless connectivity, an industry hasn't adopted new and convenient standards, and you wish to be the first to do so. That worked out quite well for Uber. Maybe you're not happy with the sustainability drives of a given industry, or you've noticed a spot in the market for a service that just isn't being offered. Solve a problem. Work to position yourself as the solution. This way, you will have been practicing entrepreneurship without having to write impressive posts on LinkedIn proving what you are. Your work will speak for itself, and your purpose will shine. Take it a day at a time. Entrepreneurs aren't born overnight. You may wish to set the stage for your entrepreneurship, be that planning your business idea after you complete your day job, or even deeply researching an industry to see how it ticks over. Not all entrepreneurs have endless reserves of investment or family money to try their idea and keep at it. As such, do what you can to lay each brick in the wall as well as you can and see the results grow. Celebrate the small successes. Sometimes just having enough to quit your day job is a huge milestone that should be celebrated. With this advice, you're sure to learn the rules of entrepreneurship in the healthiest way. You just listened to the post titled, Learning the Rules of Entrepreneurship, a primer, by Michael Levitt of breakfastleadership.com. Thank you to HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh handles all the meal planning and shopping to deliver everything you need to cook up a tasty meal right at home. They do the hard part, and you get to take the credit. A new season calls for new meals, and HelloFresh has a fresh fall lineup of delicious dinners and more to choose from. Take your pick from 40 weekly recipes that suit your lifestyle, from veggie to family-friendly to fit and wholesome. And my favorite part? HelloFresh is actually significantly less expensive than both takeout and grocery shopping. So HelloFresh has managed to save me time, health, and a little moolah. So go to HelloFresh.com/50OWD and use the code 50OWD for 50% off plus 15% off the next 2 months. Go to HelloFresh.com/50OWD and use code 50OWD for 50% off plus 15% off the next 2 months. Your business was humming. Now, teams are buried in manual work, taking forever to close the books. Consider 3 numbers: 36,000, 25, 1. 36,000. That's the number of businesses which have upgraded to NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system, streamlining accounting, financial management, inventory, HR, and more. 25. NetSuite turns 25 this year. That's 25 years of helping businesses do more with less. 1. Because your business is one of a kind, so you get a customized solution for all of your KPIs in one efficient system with one source of truth. NetSuite is giving you the power of having all your information in one place, helping you to make better, more driven decisions as a business owner. Right now, download NetSuite's popular KPI checklist, designed to give you consistently excellent performance, absolutely free at netsuite.com/startup. That's netsuite.com/startup to get your own KPI checklist. netsuite.com/startup. And thanks so much to Michael. Michael Levitt is the founder and chief burnout officer of the Breakfast Leadership Network, which is a San Diego and Toronto-based burnout media firm. He is a certified NLP and CBT therapist. NLP, by the way, is neuro-linguistic programming, and CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. And Michael is one of the world's leading authorities in burnout recovery and prevention. He's also a Fortune 500 consultant, #1 bestselling author, and host of the Breakfast Leadership Show, which is a top 200 podcast on Apple Podcasts. He's a 2-time top 20 global thought leader on culture with Thinkers 360, and a former healthcare executive, CIO, and CFO overseeing $2 billion budgets. So come visit him online. You can find him and all of his content at breakfastleadership.com. And again, thank you to Michael for letting us share his work. Okay, that's going to do it for another edition of Optimal Work Daily. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you right back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.